So you said you had business in this part of town. Mind cluing in at least one member of your club?
I was beginning to wonder when you'd bring that up. If you don't mind, I'd prefer to keep that a secret.
Very suspicious.
I assure you it's nothing illegal, at least not in this country.
I throw her an inquisitive look, but all she does is wink at me. And they actually animated the wink.
Everyone's got their secrets, assistant.
Fair enough. Just a bit shitty to cancel on such short notice.
Trust me. I wouldn't have done it unless it was absolutely necessary. It came up so suddenly.
Monika seems to daydream, or something of a similar manner, so I take the bit of silence to recover from the exhaustion of having to talk to her. It's not every day I need to speak to someone as beautiful as Monika, and it's taking a toll on me. Though that might be a result of my natural anxiety around her rather than my maiden heart. What is it about her that makes me so nervous?
So, did you manage to make up with Natsuki?
Not exactly. I point towards my blackened eye.
That's what I was afraid of. She seems like a real prideful girl, so of course it wouldn't have been that easy. Or just regular easy.
Well, she did accept my apology, but she blew up on me afterwards because of something. Monika cocks her head, and I simply throw her back a shrug. Don't ask me. Not like she told me anything about it. At least Yari is much nicer than that gremlin. She even lent me her water bottle to use as an ice pack, and I don't know why I put water bottle with a hyphen.
I leave for a day and you've already gotten us so far with one of my club members. You're one Casanova.
She nudges with her elbow slightly. It's just a water bottle, Monika. It was what I meant to, or mean to say. What I actually say is... no, nothing like that. It was just... I frantically try to explain myself to Monika as the heat in my face rises. She giggles to stutter over my words more and more, and frantically needs another A and an L right here, my dude.
You sure get flustered easily. It's kinda cute. Your eyes make you look like a real cynic, but you're more of a dork than anything.
I was right. She's a demon. A succubus out to toy with the hearts of men. Maybe I should start carrying holy water.
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Just a little joke to myself. Anyways, you seem to have quite a bit of free time. Shouldn't you be studying, Miss Top of the Class?
Oh, I almost never study. I actually have a fair bit of free time.
A natural genius? The guy upstairs just loved you, huh? Then surely you've got some friends or a boy. I cut myself off, realizing how awkward bringing up her relationship status could be. Well, I mean, it already came up once in this mod.
Friends or a what now?
Nothing, just forget it.
If you say so.
I swear I saw a smirk on her face just now.
I don't really hang out with a lot of people. Most of my friends I only talk to at school.
I getcha. All of my friends have been like that.
All besides Sayori.
She's an exception. I couldn't escape her even if I tried. Back in middle school, she would follow me home after school all the time. Even if I moved to another continent, I'm sure she'd find a way to visit me while still going to school here.
She really likes you, huh? You two are so cute together.
I told you it's nothing special. Just the natural result of years and years of being around each other.
Right.
Her dismissive tone causes my natural scowl to break. I quickly return to normal as she begins to giggle again.
You know, you're remarkably easy to talk to.
Is that so? Sayori says I usually have a glare.
Well, that's true, but it only makes you unapproachable. You're really friendly once you get past that.
Needs to be past. P-A-S-T. Thanks. I don't think I can take more of this. How much longer till? As the thought crosses my mind, I spot the store and begin to walk quicker. Come on, we're almost there.
Coming.
The two of us turn into the small corner store.
This place looks compact.
It's pretty trashy looking, I know, but it's a nice place. Besides, they've got everything, even cheap gacha capsule machines. Wait. Is gacha spelled with a T? I don't think it is. I think you've got it right. I point out one of the dusty machines that are partly obscured by the various boards and storage lockers. Moving on from the cheap toys, The two of us step into the store and are greeted by the cool blast of AC. The joys of the modern world.
What are we shopping for, anyways?
It's just some frozen food. Siri's over for the weekend, so I need to stock up on some things before she drains my account with sweets and takeout.
Oh, a boy and girl sleeping over. Isn't that a bit?
Crap, I just ratted myself out. It's nothing like that. She insisted on staying over after seeing my eye. She keeps acting like it's something super serious.
Such a caring friend.
It's more annoying than anything.
Aw, don't be like that. She's just trying to look out for you.
I know that, but you can be too caring. Wait, I left her alone. In a house with an oven. Monika, let's hurry. I have the sneaking suspicion if we take too long that I'll have to sleep in the club room from now on.
Alright.
We make quick work of most of the list. However, I slow Monika down when it comes to the frozen foods.
Is there something wrong with just picking something?
Of course. Some of those boxes may look normal, but most taste like warm mush. Can attest, that is true. I pull up to the sliding doors display of the frozen aisle and start to search for a certain brand. Once I spot them, I open the door and start to sort through the various boxes.
What are you doing?
Looking for the pepperoni ones. The cheese is cheaper, but its taste could be considered a crime against humanity.
You're quite knowledgeable about this stuff, huh?
I guess so, but that might just be because I eat this stuff all the time. It's something you pick up. There's a whole sub-forum of people who have savant-level knowledge about this stuff.
I can't even imagine how that's possible.
I know, right? I could only dream of being that talented. Placing a few boxes into my basket, I begin walking over towards the cashier.
Hey, do you mind going ahead of me? I need to do some shopping of my own.
What do you need? We can grab it right now.
It's girl stuff.
Oh? Ooh. Oh. Yeah, I'll see you in a bit then.
Thanks, I won't be too long.
Paying for my items, I step out of the store and stand idly by the entrance. As I wait, I pull out my phone and begin to check up on Snoo. Natsuki hadn't posted at all yesterday, and she seems to be equally absent today. Taking a few days off normally wouldn't mean much, but she was almost constantly active beforehand, so I'm sure a few of her moderating buddies are a bit worried. As for me, I couldn't care less, but I'm still curious, so I shoot one of the mods a DM before turning back to the store. Turning back the store? Back to the store. I'm turning away from my phone. One of the capsule mentions catches my eye. I might have enough. A quick look at my wallet confirms my guess. Placing a coin into the machine, I rotate its crank, and after a small bit, a capsule pops out. Don't need this apostrophe.
Yeah.
In the capsule is an aged dog toy with some of its paint having been chipped off, exposing its plastic base. I put the imperfect toy into my pocket and walk back over to the store's entrance. Monika's taking quite a while for girl stuff. Wait, why am I even waiting for her? This was the perfect opportunity to get away from her. Just as I realize my mistake, I hear footsteps behind me and Monika comes out of the store. Figures.
Thanks for waiting. I ended up needing more than I thought.
It's whatever, let's just get walking. It's starting to get late. The two of us, bags in hand, finally begin to walk back home. I groan a bit, thinking the length of the trek.
Something wrong?
Nothing important, I'm just really tired is all.
I'm sure it was an exhausting day. You should rest once you get home. Otherwise, you'll feel even worse tomorrow.
I wasn't planning on doing anything strenuous this weekend, but I'll keep that in mind. It's mostly just exhaustion from school, though. It'll clear up in a few hours.
Yeah, school is a way of draining you, even if it's an uneventful day.
I'm sure it's much worse for someone like you, considering you're literally a school idol.
You have no idea. It feels like I'm constantly having to deal with someone else, on top of schoolwork and now the club.
Monika sighs and starts to slack slightly, an expression that seems to both fit her perfectly and completely contradict my image of her. Even more so with all those rumors circling around about you, huh? Of course, I'd never find out the truth of these by asking her directly. If what they say is true, she'll deny absolutely everything, but she'd do that if she were innocent too. But if I can gauge her reaction, it might help me make some conclusions.
Yeah.
However, her reaction is almost non-existent. It's almost unnerving how little of a reaction she had. If I had to guess, she's tired of hearing about them. I decide not to press further, but she takes the lead herself.
I'm not even sure where they began. But before I knew it, I had dozens of girls coming up to me, asking me about them, then dozens of guys.
A few were bound to be brave enough to walk up to you.
It's so exhausting.
She turns away from me, staring at seemingly nothing. I notice a peculiar expression on her. However, she seems much more somber than the last time I saw her like that. The walk falls into silence, something which seems to have become fairly common in my life as of recently. Seeing Monika with that sort of pensive stare feels unnatural. Up until now, I have only ever seen her with her trademark smile or a teasing grin. I look ahead and continue the walk in silence. I take the time to think back on all I've gathered about her, which, honestly, isn't much. There's almost no real evidence of these rumors to go off of, only hearsay from the girls and ambiguous pictures of her with different guys. That detail in particular has left me stumped. If she's really been with all these guys, then there'd have to be some piece of evidence. At least one dude who would want to brag about that sort of thing. But there's nothing. As we approach the park we met at earlier, Monika decides to speak up again.
Do you mind if we take a break?
I'm just about to suggest I go on home when I take another look towards her face. I find myself unable to deny her request. Sure. The two of us, bags in hand, take a seat on the same benches we had earlier. Nothing is said between us as we do so. Both of us simply stare up at the sky at some imaginary object. Monika's expression doesn't change. I anticipate that she'll begin talking, but she remains silent the entire time. I begin to count the clouds as they slowly slide across the sky. Time seems to pass slowly, but I only realize the true speed at which it's accelerated when the third cloud crossed my vision, and I checked my phone. What if it crosses, yeah. Should we get going now? She doesn't respond. My question seems to have gone in one ear and out the other.
Hey, assistant.
What is it?
Do you have any dreams?
Oh, so we're just going to ignore my question then. Slightly out of scorn, I turn in the opposite direction from her before responding. Why do you ask?
You can't answer a question with a question. But if you want to know, I was just curious.
I see. I consider leaving her question at that, but... Well, I guess I want to at least live to be 50. Oh, and to not die via fire. That's a particularly terrible way to go out. Those are more wishes, though. I hear her slightly giggle.
So, nothing then?
You don't have to make fun of me.
I wasn't, I promise. I was just hoping you knew what it was like to have expectations of yourself.
Are you sure you aren't making fun of me?
Positive. I think those kinds of expectations are the most terrifying. It's odd how you can disappoint yourself. Like, I'm not sure what I really want to do with my life.
Does anyone ever know?
At our age, I guess not. But I've begun thinking about it a lot more recently. We don't have as much time left as we used to. This school year's only begun, but before long we'll be seniors, then graduates.
Everyone seems obsessed with the passage of time lately. That's all 2 years away. We basically have all the time in the world to think about it.
Even then, don't you wish you had some kind of idea now? Don't you feel lost without one?
Perhaps it was the beautiful day overhead, or maybe it was simply because I was feeling particularly relaxed in that moment. Whatever the reason, I just try not to think about it. She turns to me and we make eye contact once again. I don't think she was surprised by my response itself or anything, nor do I think she expected me to have the answers to her problem. I think she was just surprised by how honest I sounded.
I guess that's a solution, but I can't really block things like that too well. All I really know is I want to do something I'll enjoy. But I don't know what that thing is yet, and that makes me worry slightly. Everyone around me has all those same expectations of me, that I'll go on and do something amazing, that'll change the world or leave an impact. When you use a semicolon, you don't have to capitalize the letter.
You are the school's top student.
So I'm reminded almost every single day. It's annoying how often people remind me of my grades, or my looks, or their opinions of me.
Why don't you just stop then?
Huh?
If you stop accepting and living by their expectations, then it won't be a problem anymore.
I can't find it within myself to stop. The idea alone feels like I'm betraying not only everyone else, but myself.
Huh, I see. I guess I wouldn't understand something like that.
What do you mean?
No one's ever expected anything of me. Teachers never paid any special attention to me, and those around me basically ignored my presence most of the time. I didn't need this apostrophe. I'm sure no one in my class would be able to tell you my name.
Does that ever make you feel lonely?
The word strikes a certain chord within me, and I feel a familiar pit in my stomach. Regardless of my feelings, I take a breath and answer correctly. No, I don't really care about other people. Monika looks me in the eye once again, but this time it isn't surprise on her face, rather some kind of bittersweet smile.
I see. I think ever since I formed the literature club, I felt much more at ease at school. It's almost cathartic to share my love of reading.
Everyone needs their releases, I suppose, but having one for literature is a bit odd. Monika doesn't seem to hear that last bit. Her gaze becomes focused on her own hands.
Yeah, we all do.
I notice a shift in Monika's tone as she says that last sentence. Almost as if waiting to break the mood, her phone goes off and she quickly grabs a hold of it. She unlocks the screen and quickly reads over whatever notification she received. Her expression seems to break as she stares down intensely at her phone, then down to her shopping bag.
I should be going. I've definitely been out for too long.
Oh, yeah. The two of us rise to our feet.
Thanks for entertaining me for a while.
Not like I did anything. I just talked with you.
Sometimes that's all you need.
She turns around and begins to walk away. Right as she reaches the park's entrance, she turns her head slightly back to me. Right then, it felt as if some crack in Monika's armor had widened, if only for a moment.
You're a real sweetheart. You know that?
Because what slipped through felt completely foreign. Despite her smiling just like she had the entire day, this one looked completely different from the ones she displayed earlier. It seemed to lack some vital component that separated it from a genuine smile. And her ability to so perfectly form the mouth movements needed to convey such a heart-filled gesture while having it be completely empty, it scared me. Monika turns down the left corner and disappears before I'm able to reply. Feeling a little flustered still, I continue to stay seated, reflecting a bit on today. Well, she's stressed about the rumors, but that doesn't really help prove or disprove them. In fact, she didn't address them directly at all. Standing up, I make my way to the park's exit and stare down the path Monika turned, watching her silhouette slump before quickly resuming a confident stride. Ah, that's it. Wait 1 second. Ah, you were missing an H in silhouette, and possibly a T as well. But I slowly make my way back home, purposefully exerting a minimum amount of effort to prevent not only exhaustion, but give myself some time alone with my thoughts. I take the time to stare mindlessly upwards, watching the evening slowly creep on the previously bright blue sky. Really, girls like Monika are the worst.